Hello, this is Bob from Up Trail 71, and for this live stream I have a special guest. They hiked the North Country Trail about 4,800 miles, and I'll be adding them to the stream right now. And it's
Hello.
Constantine.
How you
Hello.
doing?
Yes, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And now I'm still amazed. 4,800 miles. I thought when I hiked the Superior Hiking Trail, a section of it, I did 200 miles of it in 13 days. And I was proud, and I thought, wow, that's a long distance. Then I hear 4,800 miles, and actually the Superior Hiking Trail was part of the North Country Trail.
Yep. The Superior Hiking Trail is a pretty aggressive trail. I mean, those elevation gains and descents, they're nothing to play with. They'll break your knees down pretty well.
You get a good workout there. Yes.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed the hike, and the views are amazing there, and so many streams and campsites are excellent.
Yeah. There's that one section around, I think it's Silver Bay. Do you remember Silver Bay area?
Yes.
That one hurt our knees real bad that one
Right.
day. I think we did 26 around there, but it was just constant up and down those boulder fields.
Right.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful though.
Now, I believe you started the North Country Trail, was it February 1st, somewhere around there?
No. If I started February
No.
1st, I made a mistake.
Oh, okay.
I started hiking season 2021 February 1st. So I started
Oh, okay.
actually on the Florida Trail, and me and a buddy ran that trail out, and then I bounced to the Potomac Heritage Trail. I ran that trail out, and then the New England Trail, ran that out, and then I started the North Country Trail with my partner on May 1st.
Okay, May 1st it was. Okay, so you started in, was it Vermont?
Yes, it starts in Vermont, so that's a recent extension.
Right.
When I say recent, like 2018-ish, I believe.
I suppose you should add the comments in here. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it does start in Vermont or North Dakota, depending which direction you go.
Right. And did you do the long trail? They call it the Vermont long trail, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, so it coincides with the long trail for, I believe it's like 30 or 40 miles. I think it's right within that window. So it's a good acclimation if you're going westbound like we did, to kind of get your hiking legs in, and kind of get ready for the rest of the trail. So it's a really good acclimation because the camping on there too is really good. And so for the first day or first 2 days, you can like have secure camping, and then you start getting into the piecemeal camping as you continue on.
Some people I've seen in comments, we're close to Superior Hiking Trail, and they ask, how do you compare the Vermont Long Trail to Superior Hiking Trail? Is it comparable, or do you think Vermont Trail is a lot harder?
I would actually say it's comparable. So we only did 30 or 40 miles of it on the NCT, but on the Appalachian Trail you do 120, 130, somewhere within that ballpark. So I would say it's comparable. You have the same elevations, you have the same descents. It's very rocky. It's forested a lot of the places, but the Superior Hiking Trail, if you're just comparing purely the NCT, I would say the Superior Hiking Trail along the NCT or other way around has grander views.
Right. Okay. And now, was there a lot of road hiking when you did the North Country Trail? Did you have to do a lot?
Yes.
Yes, I thought so. I know it's still a little bit of a patchwork for the trail system. And how about when you go across the Mackinac Bridge? Going into UP. Now, do you have to walk across that, or did you take a car or taxi or something? Or
so the NCT, I don't know which year they chose to make this kind of unofficial, but they realized to make it a thru hike, it was putting a lot of pressure on thru hikers because logistically, if you're timing to get to the bridge on September 5th or 6th, I forget which day, if you're going eastbound or westbound, if you're hitting it on September, you're going to have a rough go ahead of you. So they kind of quantified it as if you get a ride over the bridge, you're still considered a thru hiker. So even if you broke up your steps there, you're still considered a thru hiker. But my partner and I were going for an FKT, and we're also very much purists. So we logistically got past it. Actually, you said the back picture was the Porcupine Mountains. We actually got right to the border of the Porcupine Mountains and then caught a ride back to the bridge and walked it. Got back there at like 2 a.m., walked the bridge, and then went straight back to the Porcupine Mountains and continued hiking that day because we just had to continue forward momentum. And it was a stressful day, but it was a fun day.
Now, how was Ohio hiking through it? I believe that's quite a few miles going through there.
Yes. Ohio. I'm glad my partner's not on this right now. 'Cause she would have some colorful words for you. Um, Ohio, it's kind of just like hiking. You gotta find the enjoyment in the miles, and you gotta change your mentality when it gets rough. We hit it at a pretty rough time. If you're going westbound or
Right.
eastbound, Ohio's kind of placed like smack dab in the middle. So
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna probably hit it on either side of summer, and we hit it kind of in the peak of summer. So we were getting hit by some very humid heat, like 100
Oh,
degrees,
okay.
and that's what made it very difficult. And I don't want to say anything bad about Ohio because they do a lot of work and they try to put you on the beautiful parts of the trail. It's just
Right.
hitting it in summertime when all the foliage is growing. When they
Mm-hmm.
do route you back into trail off a bike path or a road walk, most of the time you're going to be like pushing your way through pretty thick brush. So
Right.
again, we walked it during the summer. If you walk it during the
Yeah,
fall or
it would be
the winter, you're
beautiful.
going to probably have a way different experience than us.
Right.
Um,
I'm not sure, but I think Hocking Hills runs part of the North Country Trail goes through there.
yep.
I don't know if you remember that or.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yep.
We actually
Oh.
hit it on July 4th, which was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. And then I remember watching your interview. That's how I found out about your channel, and was on just the TV show Discovering. That's
Cool.
a local channel for the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And actually, the guy that has the TV show lives about 300 feet from me.
Oh,
So, so
wow.
he's my neighbor.
Yeah, yeah. He drove out to meet us. The Peter Wharf chapter area. I forget exactly
Uh,
what that crossing was, but yeah, that was a rough day. I'm glad we had a little bit of personality and chat to like lift our spirits. It was a fun chat.
right. And I remember you talking about the Upper Peninsula here. You actually enjoyed walking through, right?
Mhm.
It was that
I love.
cooler weather, and I
Excuse me.
believe it was cooler. The weather was cooler. I think you were talking about in that show, and I'm sure there's plenty of bugs though.
I think we got really lucky. So when we were connecting into hiking sucks. When we
Yeah,
were
the hiking guy. He's from Ohio, or yeah, or Indiana actually.
okay, I like that. When we were connecting into Michigan, we were really worried about the mosquitoes, but I think we got extremely lucky again. So we had days that were really rough. So
Right.
one of the days in the UP going from St. Ignacy up to, I know I pronounced it wrong, but it's kind of just in my vocabulary at this point.
Uh
From St. Ignacy up
huh. St.
towards,
Ignace, right?
yes, up towards Lake Superior. Once we
Oh,
went through that,
To Quanmon Falls. You went by there.
yes, it was a
That
little bit
beautiful.
before that we got hit by some pretty bad mosquitoes. But
Mm-hmm.
in the broader sense of the term, what we thought was going to happen, it wasn't really that bad. We just pushed through and kept moving.
Right. And what'd you think of the Tequanamon Falls?
It was
You
it was
remember?
really beautiful.
It's
We
beautiful, right? I think it's almost, it might be around 200 feet wide and 50-foot drop. So
yeah.
it's really beautiful.
Yeah, we kind of, I think the trail, the NCT just hugged it on that boardwalk for a while, then a little bit of single track, and then
Right.
it connected us into this like pavement before it started bouncing away. And
Mm-hmm.
there was a staircase down, I think, to another fall system that we didn't get to check out. But yeah, that entire kind of park area you could explore for a full few days through there.
Right. So is Magpie with you right now, or?
She is. She's in her own project mode.
Oh, okay.
That's I could try to get her on, but I think she's in go mode right now.
And you have your own gear line, right? Some kind of 11 Skies gear? Yeah.
Yes, we create outdoor apparel. Right now, we're kind of hyper focused in shorts and pants,
Mm-hmm.
but hopefully this year we're going to also be able to branch out into a couple other products. But I don't know. We enjoy kind of our niche right where we
Right.
are, and creating that is what brought us the passion with it. So we're going to probably stay within that ballpark for a little bit.
And you have a YouTube channel called Hiking America. Gotta make sure everybody
Ooh.
knows that.
I apologize to anybody that watches that.
Oh, it's good. I've been binge watching a lot of your videos. It's a lot
have
of
you
fun watching.
have you got into Ohio yet?
I'm kind of skipping around. I should be watching every single one, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna watch every one though. Yeah,
Cool.
and Pennsylvania is really nice.
Yes. Yes. Pennsylvania was beautiful. McConnell Mill section through there. It also has something else called the Devil's Ladder. We got like a freak
Uh-huh.
hailstorm and rainstorm in
Oh,
there,
geez.
and we were like running through these. Do you have husky voice? This guy asks the best questions.
Oh, I
Um,
know. That's Chris, the hiking guy. He's funny.
yeah. But yeah, McConnell Mill section was beautiful, but also the Laney National Forest was also really beautiful. Asking for a friend. Okay.
Yeah,
Getting
I
further
love these comments.
yeah. Yeah, PA was really cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever watched any other YouTube channels, maybe Through Hikers at all, or?
Yeah, I had a buddy that actually documented for a while. He wasn't able to do trail for the past year or two, but Baskets, if you're familiar
Okay,
with him,
yes.
I
Yeah.
really liked how he put together his stuff. And you also hear about a lot of these other YouTubers. It's hard sometimes though, watching the
Okay.
YouTube channels.
Now, Baskets, I think, wasn't he hiking with Frozen, Jason from Outdoor Adventures?
I think he did. I think he did
Yes.
for
Now,
a little bit.
he may be on the show next week, Jason. I've met him a couple times. He's a nice
Oh, very
guy.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of in the hiker mill, you hear a lot of names. So like I've heard the
Right.
name. I've just never met him. But I knew Baskets. I think they
Uh-huh.
bounced around each other or something at some point
Right,
or
they
hiked
did.
together. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See, I got a couple, another. What did you think of the Trap Hills area?
Oh,
One of
that was we had to run through that section. So we did a 34-mile day through there to get
the,
to the entrance of the Porkies. Um,
right.
it it winded us. It
Yeah,
was
that's it. I've never been there yet.
mhm.
I hear it's really beautiful, though.
It is. I think we hit it at a good timing too. When we were
Right.
there, if I'm not mistaken, that was early September. So leaves were just falling, so it was clearing out the views a little bit. And it was really cool. You were on top of like the only plateau for the foreseeable not future, but foreseeable land around you, so you can see out
Right.
really, really far.
Right. And you used a tent then, right, for camping? If I remember correct, yes, a tent.
I think I
Yeah.
hear a lot of Michigan people are hammock campers.
Yeah, I'm a hammock camper. I know I just purchased a tent, which everybody's kind of going like, wow, because it's been 6 years since I really used a tent.
Yeah,
Because we were all hammocks. My wife also hammock camps. So,
yeah, we're ground dwellers, sadly.
but yeah, we're gonna try ground because our plans is to hike the Appalachian Trail in about 6 years.
Oh,
So we're gonna go to use a tent, and we're most likely get something like a Z Packs or ultralight. We'll go for that.
yeah.
But right now, I just got a Marmot. It's like a 5 pound tent, 2 person.
I can't recommend enough Big Agnes. I mean, I've looked into Z-Packs a lot. We've also looked
Hmm.
into a lot of those smaller gear companies,
Right.
but Big Agnes, it's just so simple. It's like a pop up at a certain point. Like you just put
Right.
the poles together, clip in, your tent's done.
Here's some more guests joining in. So hello,
Oh,
Joel, and we got Carlson Adventures.
awesome, Constantine. What's up? I'm actually drinking coffee out of it's getting Christmas time. We're getting close. Nutcracker mug. So
Just catching up with
like
some of the comments.
Kelty brand.
Kelty brand tents.
I've
Never tried either. So I
actually
tried.
one of my very first packs was a Kelty pack that was made back in like I don't know early 2000s. Their colors were super funky. Those were cool.
Right.
But I didn't push it to its limits. I didn't really test its capabilities. But I've never even tried their tents. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I have one of their old packs also.
Yeah.
Now we had a last minute change in plans. 2016, we went to Wyoming, up in Bighorn Mountains,
Okay.
up to Cloud Peak. We went. And we stayed at Misty Moon Lake, and there's very few trees when you get up to the elevations that high. So we made a last minute change in plans. Maybe we won't take our hammocks. So I went and bought a Walmart tent, like a $30 one. I don't know how it survived that windstorm. We were up there, but I would never take a Walmart tent again.
Tighten down the straps enough, just like hoping it doesn't break.
Oh, the rain fly flew off once, but and it's crazy when you get thunderstorm when you're up 12,000 feet, and thunderstorms are crazy when you're at that height.
Yeah, a lot of people don't think of Wyoming as like a beautiful mountainous place, but yeah,
It
Wyoming
is.
has some epic mountains out there.
I love it.
We currently have
6 moons, lunar explorer weighs 45 ounces. That is light.
Yeah, I've heard of the 6 Moon tents. I've heard good things about
Yeah.
those tents.
Yeah. Go through a few more comments. A lot of people have tents, you know.
A lot of people have tents.
Makes me feel out of place being in a hammock. But no, I remember years ago when I went backpacking, you did not see very many hammocks.
Yeah.
You know, like 10 years ago. Of course, we had tents too. And then in 2015 is when I bought my first hammock. And I loved it so much, I just kept using one. I sleep a lot better in it.
You have to be very picky with the trail system that you're doing, though. Like desert hiking, you're not going to be.
You're not going to be in a hammock.
Yeah. Unless you found some like extremely lightweight, just giant aluminum poles that you could just shove into the ground.
Well, I have a question for you. Which trail was the toughest?
Ooh, out of this year?
Probably,
or in general?
yeah. Good question. What part of the North Country Trail was the toughest? Because that's a combination of many trails.
Yeah. What part of the NCT was the toughest? Honestly, I would say Ohio. Not physically, but it was mentally the toughest because Ohio's like that midpoint where we were starting to creep into slowly getting past 2,000 mile mark.
Right.
But with how long the NCT was, even once you hit a 2,000 mile mark, you had 2,800 miles left. So like
right.
Being there in summertime and feeling like your miles weren't really adding up, no matter how hard we pushed, mentally it was hard to like continue to hike in that heat and be like pushing day after day and know you're going to keep having to push day after day for a while. So Ohio was the toughest for that reason. But then Minnesota, I would say Minnesota would be the physically toughest.
Right.
So Ohio mentally toughest, Minnesota physically toughest.
And you did a Continental Divide Trail, correct? Or not? Yes.
2018.
No, was that a very difficult trail to hike?
Yes.
Okay, I figured.
Colorado.
Right.
Colorado broke me in so many ways that it still scares me to this day. Colorado, it's extreme. There were many days that actually when I first got into Colorado, I made a joke with my trail family that I was going to cowboy camp every single night. Yeah. And the first night I cowboy camped, I woke up and I was like a frozen burrito. Like I lost everywhere. Like, all right, I'm not going to do that anymore. But Colorado's tough. The San Juans are pretty extreme, and just all the mountain ranges through there are pretty tough.
You haven't done a Pacific Crest Trail at all yet, or any sections of it maybe, or?
In 2017, I did it.
Oh, you did it. Oh, wow. And how did you like that trail?
I liked it. My year was a little weird. People know it as the year of ice and fire. So my mentality hurt more than anything. Again, it's always very mental. So I had to do a lot of flip-flopping and piecemealing because of the fires. So we got through a lot of the hard stuff in Cali, got through the Sierras, whatnot. And if we just kept hiking north, we thought we were going to get snowed out in Washington. So we had to flip up to Washington, go southbound until the fires pushed us back out to Cali. It was just a bunch of piecemealing to get all the sections available, and then also checking with the PCTA which ones when they would request official alternates. So I enjoyed it. Like, it was a beautiful trail. I would definitely have preferred to do it as not having to bounce around and through. But the PCT, I can see why it draws a lot of people. It's the support around it is incredible. The trail is just incredible. It's in incredible shape all the time. Yeah, it's a beautiful trail.
Right. I know Jason from Outdoor Adventures, he's going to hike that, I think, in 2 years.
Okay.
He did the Appalachian Trail in 2019.
Yep.
And he'll be doing that trail, like I say, in 2 years. So that'll be exciting.
Yeah, so going to the PCT from the AT, people try to say that it's not similar, and of course they're not similar, but if you know how to hike, and I think Jason, like you mentioned, he was a pretty strong hiker, but yeah, if you transition to the PCT, you just have different weather systems and you have different time windows to hit, but all your baseline hiking skills are there, so he'll really enjoy that trail. Right,
and it's a little longer in the AT, right? I think about 500 miles or something.
Yes, it's 2650 about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to hike that? I suppose it's
So,
kind of hard to say because you had to piece it together.
well, so funny enough, if you look at the 3 years I did the big three trails, AT, PCT, and CDT, I
Yeah,
always shaved a month off my time. So as I grew into a different hiker, the AT took
right.
me 6 months, PCT took me about 5, and then CDT took me about 4. So every single year I was going faster, kind of pushing
Right.
harder miles.
And you just finished the North Country Trail not very long ago. What, a month ago or so?
About a month, month and some change. Yep.
And how many days to 187 or something?
187, yes, 186 moving days, 187 because we slept on trail. But for the FKT, it was 186 days and some change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was the most miles you did in a day? I remember seeing your chart and I was like, wow, you're pushing like 50-mile days sometimes.
I think we hovered below. I don't think we ever hit a 50 on that trail. I think we hit mid 40s, but that
Right,
wasn't really our sweet spot. Our sweet spot was like consistently staying within the 30 to 35 mile range. Sometimes we would
right,
bounce above that, of course, but that was kind of our sweet spot. If we got
right,
close to a 35 each day, we were happy.
right. That's a long ways. Like I said, my record is 29 miles, and I was like, I was done. That was enough for me.
Yeah, you get used to it at a certain point.
Right.
Um, kind of like you're never going to be fully used to doing those types of miles, but your body gets used to it. You're going to always
It
wake up
does. Right.
sore, but it's just finding the motivation day after day after day.
I know after I hiked this Superior hiking trail, the 213 miles I did in 13 days, when the next day when I got home, I felt like I couldn't even get out of bed. I was so sore.
That
And it lasted a couple of days.
Yeah, that's going to happen on any length of hike, any trail. Like your body recognizes when it stops. So like when we stopped this year,
Right.
we were crippled for like a full week. Like my back,
Right.
my feet hurt. Like the bottoms of my feet, I couldn't.
Right.
There were times we would stop in towns. Like once your body knows it's resting, there was
Uh-huh.
times we would stop in towns and like we would put some sodas in the mini fridge or something in the motel and just walk into the mini fridge. It felt like I was walking on like glass. Like my feet felt so broken, but
Right.
your body knows it's going. It kind of puts adrenaline through and like changes the brain chemistry.
Right. I see Mark asked a question we asked earlier about is there a lot of road walking for a North Country Trail? You said yes.
Yeah, it's. I don't think it's ever going to be fully built up. So how it's kind of structured is a lot of these trail chapters manage anywhere from 100 to 150 miles, and they're always trying to get their trail system off, well, their trail off road. So they're always trying to build 2 or 3 miles extra, whatever it may be. But I don't think it's ever going to be fully off road because there's a lot of private land that surrounds the route they want to put it through Ohio. And Southern Michigan. I bet they might be able to find something in Southern Michigan, but I
Right.
doubt it will ever be fully single track trail like the Appalachian Trail.
Right. And there's a lot of private property they got to try to work with, and that's never easy. You get a Superior hiking trail, it's a 300-mile trail. They're always, almost every year, they reroute some area because of private property, you know?
Yeah, within the year we did it, that there were already 2 reroutes that had changed from the year prior, and then
Right.
next year I already know of like 2 or 3 other reroutes that are currently in progress as they continue to build more trail.
Right.
Yeah, so the road, it's just part of the trail. It's not something at a certain point that you, of course, you notice it, but it's not something that you really think about at a certain point because it's
Mm.
such a long trail that you just get used to it. You just know
Right.
that you look at the maps, you're like, okay, I have a 10-mile road walk today to
Hmm.
connect these 2 parcels of land, and then I get to go back into the woods. Um,
Right.
it's just part of it.
Right. I agree. And then when I got done, finished my 13 days on this pure hiking trail, I didn't want to stop. You kind of want to keep going, you know, but I only had 2 weeks to do it. But that actually gets you in a rhythm. Every day you're doing the same routine over and over,
Yeah.
and you miss
Once
it.
you do, once you get past that 3 or 4 days on a
Yes.
section, that's when it really starts kicking in. You're like, okay, this is just what I do at this point. I wake up,
Right.
walk, I find camp. everything,
Exactly.
everything in between, you kind of just bebop through and figure it out on the way there. So yeah, you get into a
Uh,
rhythm.
yeah.
Yeah.
And how about food? Like your resupplies or food? Do you just buy it in town, or do you have some shipped to post offices or?
So last year we had planned to ship food to post offices because we wanted to be more healthy. We knew a lot of the resupply. Again,
Mhm.
it's how you hike the trail. So
Right,
if people were hiking the NCT at a more leisurely pace, they would have more options to hitch off the trail to go to a town.
right,
But we tried to schedule our food carries to always walk into the next town that's like right on trail, if not very close by.
right,
So by doing that, we had more logistics around food. So we did more 200 plus food carries on the NCT that I could have possibly imagined, even though in
mm,
Ohio. So like
right,
Ohio, even though it's a lot of road, they were trying to put you on these dirt roads away from towns. So if you did walk through something, you were going to see maybe a Family Dollar or a gas station.
right,
So there was a lot of times that we weren't eating the healthiest. You're just calorie packing, and
right.
we actually lost a significant amount of weight before the NCT turned northbound in Ohio and then connected into this bike trail where you started being able to get better food. But
Uh-huh.
we just ate so much junk that like our bodies, we were very malnourished and malnutrited, if that's a word.
Right.
I don't think malnutrited is a word. I don't know what word that is. We lacked nutrients.
Hiking with Sean says howdy. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Any other questions from the viewers here?
I'm trying to withhold my rambles. I can ramble a lot,
Oh,
but
that don't matter. It's interesting. I
yeah.
like I say, I could imagine hiking that far. That would take me at least a couple of years if I was going to do it.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you probably found a rhythm you got into within those 13 days that if you
Right.
just extrapolated those days out, you could see that your pace would gradually start picking up. And then
Right.
that's what you have to do with the long trails too, is like some people aggressively go after the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, but a lot of problems can arise if you start stepping off the miles super hard. Um, we wanted to, and we were both in shape too, but we knew
Right.
how long this trail was going to be, that it was kind of like we were purposely cutting our pace in New York. We were saying like, okay, if there's a shelter in 26 or 33, we're going to go for the 26 miler because we just want our body to fully acclimate. So
Uh-huh.
we're less injury prone for the longevity of the hike.
Right. Okay, we have a question coming up here from Joel. What happened while you was hyped like Pack? Retired?
I could grab it, but Magpie's like deep cleaning right now, and I don't know where she chucked it. No, it's not retired.
No.
I'm gonna still use that. The pack I don't replace until honestly stuff starts falling out of it. Um,
Right.
I always only own one pack. Well, I guess I also have the other ones that are wholly at this point, but I only ever own one usable pack, and I just use it until it can't be used anymore.
Right. I still have my Z Packs R call. I think I've had it for 4 years now. I love it. It's an excellent pack.
Yeah, packs can last a long time. Like to go into a little more about that hyperlight, the only part that starts really getting bad is where the aluminum stays are. So
Right.
like where the hip belt connects in, if you're picturing the back of the pack, right here where the aluminum stays are, usually I think it's because I tighten my left one tighter,
Mm,
but it starts creating a
okay.
big hole that it just starts slipping out of. And I've patched it with sail fabric. I've patched it with many things over the years, but I've never found a fix to that issue.
Right. And on my Z Packs R call, the only thing is it's got that little tiny metal frame that runs through, or wherever it's made out of. It makes a creaking noise. That's the only thing that I can say negative about the pack. Otherwise, I love it. Now we have
I
a
like that.
question.
I like that you pointed that out, because that is one of the things that drives me absolutely insane. And I don't
Right.
know. I don't know why it pops up sometimes. Like I could go 2 weeks without hearing that kind of squeak right next to the ear,
Right.
and then I might go a few hours of just nonstop squeak, and it
Yeah,
drives me
that's the way it
up the
is.
wall.
Are you planning on any hikes in Canada?
So it's December now. I actually just my eyes are shot because I was on the mountain all day today. But I was snowboarding.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I wasn't hiking, so we're really close to Whistler Blackcomb, the big ski hill. So boarding is kind of our outlet / rock climbing, and then we have a buddy that does a lot of traverses in the winter time that we might do start getting into a few traverses, but nothing big for the winter time. March, we have some plans to get back down into the States a little bit and do some things down there.
Okay, let's see if we have any more. The hiking guy, Bell Smith. Oh, he come over Bell Smith.
What is Bell Smith?
I'm not really sure.
Bluffage. I don't. Is Bell Smith a product? Is it a
I'm
line?
not sure. It might
Hiking
maybe
guy
it's,
Bell Smith?
maybe it's a park somewhere. No, it must.
Oh, it might be a hiking trail.
A hiking trail area. I think I've heard of it.
Oh, there's something called the Michigan Bell Trail, the old Bell Trail.
It could be. Yeah, I'm not real familiar with all those areas down there.
Yeah, probably in the Midden, as we heard it called.
Any hikes in Indiana? Well, yeah, the Hoosier National Forest down there.
That might make me want to do it. Does the American Discovery cross through Indiana? It might.
I really don't know.
Because it goes from Ohio, and if Indiana's right next door, it might touch in Indiana for a second or two.
Yeah, I'm not sure. They actually have some nice areas down by the river. You get the southern part of Indiana. It's almost like the Red River Gorge. If you've ever been there, I don't know, but
yeah, I've heard the Les Plains Trail in Indiana. Maybe it's like a 50-mile trail system, 100-mile trail system.
Oh, here we go. Bell Smith, Shawnee National Forest.
Oh, okay. Huh? I don't know what Bell Smith is.
Yeah. Well, I think it's Illinois. It looks like.
Oh.
Yeah, Illinois.
Illinois. Okay. Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
So, any more future hikes? They thinking about the long distance ones they haven't done yet.
We really, really want to get to the Te Aurora in New Zealand.
Oh, really?
Do a little bit of overseas hiking, but
wow,
right now they're still completely shut down.
The COVID and all that, yeah.
But as soon as hiking season kind of opens up in March or April, kind of something we're really excited about to do since the NCT had so few hikers and we didn't really have that trail culture around us. We're super stoked to go down to the Southwest, like California, New Mexico, Arizona, and kind of do some trail magic along there. Just
that'd be cool.
Yeah, just kind of start off with the bubbles of the hikers and just like set up camp and maybe tool around and go experience like a smaller trail system, like pick off the Bigfoot Trail in California, which sounds pretty cool, or the Wonderland Trail in Washington. Like pick off these smaller ones while we're doing trail magic. And then the Te Aurora would be during the wintertime, our wintertime, which is their summertime. So that would get us from March until July or August, and then we would start getting prepped for the Te Aurora.
Let's see. Have you ever heard of the River to River Trail, 160-mile trail in the Shawnee?
I've heard of River to River, but faintly.
Right. I don't know a whole lot about it.
Yeah. It's not AT huge, but we're proud of it.
Right.
You should be proud of your trail systems. It's a lot of work that goes even to a mile of building trail. So, yeah, 160 miles is a good chunk of change.
It is. Yeah. I remember my first, what I thought was a long hike was with my wife. We did a Pictured Rocks. That trail runs right through Pictured Rocks, and it's 42.5 miles.
Yep.
And we were like, wow, proud of what we accomplished. 42.5 miles is great.
What time of year did you go through Pictured Rocks?
I think we went in July or no, June. It may have been that time.
Okay, it was probably nice. It was
very nice.
Getting that breeze off the water, not too hot.
Right.
Pushes the mosquitoes away.
We had a lot of bugs though. Those little biting flies, they call them. Sable flies, I think they call them.
Yes, down south they call them sand gnats. We actually did have those, not in Pictured Rocks themselves, but so before you go through Grand Marais in the UP, you have that Lake Superior kind of. I think it's Lake Superior State Forest, National Forest. It kind of runs like right along there. Right. And we camped right on close to the beach one day, and that night when we were getting ready to cook dinner, my legs just got chewed through by the
It's,
Yeah.
sounds like the Hiawatha National Forest. That may be what it was called.
Okay. We got the skunk.
Skunk Trail in Florida. Yeah. How did you like the Florida Trail?
I really enjoyed it. It was a perfect kind of introduction to hiking season for me. So
Uh-huh.
it gave me the challenges that I needed to get prepped for the remainder of the hiking season. If it was the only trail I did in a year, I would kind of feel like I might be missing out on something a little bit because it has awesome swamps, it has
Right.
awesome terrain, but my happy place is the mountain. So I would
Right.
kind of felt like I would miss out a little bit, but I actually enjoyed it. My buddy and I did it hardy, and we really pushed each other. There's so I could go into a little tangent here about the Shawnee River section if you want me to.
Go ahead.
So the Shawnee River is, I think it sounds like Hike with Mike is from Florida.
He is.
Okay, the Shawnee River is like right. I'm trying to see my own reflection. Shawnee River is like right here, and then the Florida Trail is like right next to it.
Right.
And when the Shawnee River floods, it goes onto the Florida Trail. So there's different numbers that the FTA says don't even try this, or you're going to be walking calf deep. So 56 to 60, I believe, is you're going to be wading through some flooded sections. Then like 60 feet to 63 is we would start the Florida Trail Association advises to start looking for alternates. And then 65 plus is like, don't do it. So the water level was at like 66 or 67. And my buddy and I were purists, so we really wanted to try it. We ended up swimming this Shawnee River for a few miles. Like actually not like wading, like actually swimming. Like we couldn't touch
Right.
the ground. So the river was so flooded, it was just completely covering the entire trail, like way deep into the woods. So we were like swimming with gators, which eventually we were like, we can't do this anymore. Like we're not moving anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, Brenda asked you if any areas of North Country Trail you'd like to be able to spend more time at exploring.
I'm not pandering the UP. I would actually like to explore the UP more. Magpie, my partner, has rode her bike through the Upper Peninsula,
Uh-huh.
and she got to see these attractions that we had to like really rush by.
Right.
Lincoln Land.
Okay, I'm
Do
not even
you,
familiar with that. And I live up in the UP.
Lakenden Land. It's a
Oh,
metal.
Lake Linden. That must be
Maybe
Lake. It could
it's
be.
like this guy has a bunch of metal structures. Like it's
Oh,
like a full
okay.
park system. It's near Marquette.
Yes.
Um, really want to explore that a little more. The Superior National Forest I was telling you about, that was a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful place. Um, I've done a lot of out east hiking, so while there's a different flavor there, each
Right.
trail is different. Honestly, PA and New York, I've kind of gotten my fill with. Ohio,
Mm-hmm.
got my fill with. It would be Michigan, Minnesota, and North Dakota. But if you want like more exact, um, the grasslands in North Dakota were really
Right.
beautiful.
And I'd like to
Um,
check out the Boundary Waters up in Minnesota. I don't know. Did you get to hike around that area?
yes.
Oh, you
So
did.
yeah, if you did the Superior Hiking Trail, you know how the northern terminus
Yes.
connects into the Border Route Trail.
Right.
So that's what the NCT does. So we connected into the Border Route Trail and then did the Border Route to the Keck and then the Keck out towards Ely. Um, so
And
yeah,
it,
you were in the Border Route Trail for 60 miles. Yeah, you
uh-huh.
could get lost in there. A lot of
Oh,
stuff to explore. The Keck, the Keck was rough. We had some bad weather. I would love to go back and explore there as well.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I got any more questions here. I'll
Any
just
more
scroll through
areas?
these real fast. Oh,
Got to go iron my socks,
all right,
guys.
Chris. Yeah, that sounds like.
This guy's got the
Yeah,
good
see,
one.
he's a funny one.
Yeah. Wish there was less road travel. It wasn't
Unfor-
bad. It kind of,
yeah,
honestly, the road on the Florida Trail gave you a break from the swamps, and I was happy happy when I was
I
road walking.
suppose I would love to go through the swamps, but like you say, if you're in it all the time in a swamp, it would feel good to hike on a road.
Again, I would heavily. You don't even own an iron. But yeah, I would heavily recommend planning the Florida Trail. Like if you see that there's a lot of rain coming or that there was a lot of rain prior, I might
Right.
postpone the hike because you're so below sea level or close to sea level that the ground, like there's nowhere for it to funnel out. Like the trail is where
Right.
it floods. So yeah, watch the weather.
Yeah, Mike was asking if you hiked the west route or east route of the Florida Trail.
Around Okeechobee and Orlando. So around Okeechobee, we went west, I believe. We went west, yep. And then around Orlando, we went east, I believe.
I didn't know you had different routes to it.
So if you look at the Florida Trail map, it goes like up and then it has a big lake and you can kind of
Right.
go like this. And then you go up towards Orlando, and Orlando is such a big metropolitan sprawl that they don't want you to walk straight through downtown or all these suburbs. So they try their best to put you on bits and pieces of trail system. So we heard the east one had the most trail, quote unquote trail. So that's what we went on.
Okay. All right. We'll see if there's any hiking. Sean, here's a question. When you're all through hiking solo, how do you keep yourself occupied? So what's hiking solo to keep yourself? You know what? I have my video camera for one thing. So you're making YouTube videos. That helps. It really does. And then on some of those long days when I was on Superior Hiking Trail, I started to one way I started motivating myself was thinking about another through hiker. Actually helped me motivate me, believe it or not. Following Bigfoot, I was thinking about. Because he did the Superior Hiking Trail. And I actually kind of focused in on his hiking. Believe it or not, it's strange, but it helped.
Yeah. The film does help keep you occupied. You'll just have a lot of film by the end of the day. Something that I also do to keep myself occupied is I start playing with my physicality a little bit, so I see how fast I can push a pace without hitting complete exhaustion levels. So if I hike alone, more likely than not, I don't stop unless it's to I don't want to cuss on here, but shoot the I don't know. I don't know what the replacement word is for that. But when I stop, I just want to chat with other people. So if I'm hiking alone, the only time I'll stop is to dip a bottle in a stream and then keep going. So it seems that when I hike alone, I just really push my mentality and physicality to see what it does. But to keep the mind occupied, sing to myself, kick rocks.
Now, do you listen to music or a podcast or anything?
I do. I try to limit that.
Right.
For the first 3 years, actually, of hiking on the AT, PCT, and CDT, I thought it was like kind of untrue to the hiking experience because my first trail was the 18, 16, and the year I did it, I kind of was brought up with a lot of the old timers, a lot of the old time hikers that were like, you must touch every white blaze. If you walk in one direction to the shelter, you have to walk out that same one.
Oh, yeah. Back out. Right. I hear that from people.
Yeah. And then also they were very heavily against music. So I kind of became biased against it for a long time.
Right.
And what finally broke me to start listening to music or podcasts was the Great Basin in Wyoming. Funny enough, I started singing, I think, what was the song? It might have been I'm a Barbie Girl. I think I started singing I'm a Barbie Girl for like 62 miles straight, and I was driving myself insane. So I'm like, okay, I need to listen to music.
Oh, yeah. I only time I listen to music is a little bit at camp. Otherwise, when I'm hiking, for some reason, I don't. But that's just a little different. Plus, I catch the weather reports and stuff because I have a radio, a little tiny mini radio with. Do
you listen to AM, FM while you're hiking?
Right. Or? Yes. Not when I'm hiking. I never listen to music when I'm hiking. It's just only at camp, and that's only for a little while.
Does it distract you?
No, not at all. I lay in my hammock and I just have my music for about an hour, and just relax, and then I go to sleep.
but I'm asking, like, when you're hiking, you don't listen to it because it distracts you, or
right? I can't. Yeah, I guess if I was through hiking and I'm gone for 5 months, maybe I would listen to something because you'd have to. I think after that long.
Yeah.
Especially a solo hike.
Yeah, and I think that is kind of sometimes where the not necessarily disconnect comes, but like when some people ask these questions, like, oh, how could you possibly listen to music? It's like when you're doing anything for 5 months, it'll become monotonous. Anything. You can do the things you love the most in the world, but if you're walking a road, middle of nowhere, been doing it for 5 months, Sometimes you want a little something else for flavor.
Right.
The West Trail, the Green Swamp. There were a lot of green swamps.
I bet.
Yeah,
I
there
love
were a lot of
watching.
black swamps too. A lot of the water in Florida, you couldn't see where your feet were, so
Right.
that was always fun. You were like, "What's under here with me?"
Brian King,
Oh,
a
cool.
smiley face. That's good that he's on. I believe he's in the military and he's
Oh,
overseas. So,
cool.
oh, and Brian wants to know where my better half is. My wife, she's more likely making Christmas cookies or something.
Oh, lucky.
CG.
You had to pull out. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a boat in the swamp in Florida to cross this creek called Monkey Creek. And Monkey Creek always swells, and it's right before. Oh, why am I blanking on the name? It's one of like the biggest swamps of the Florida Trail. Like this one, you will lose direction so long. Most
Okay.
hikers, it takes them multiple hours to go like 2 miles. Wow, I'm blanking on the name of that swamp. But yeah,
Oh,
we had a boat to cross this like creek, which I don't know why they had it there because there were plenty of places that were way deeper than that we had to swim. But
yeah.
it was still fun to see it.
Have you ever hiked the what do they call it, Sheltawi Trace Trail yet?
No, out in
I think
Kentucky.
it starts somewhere on the Cumberland Gap area, and
Yeah,
it goes up past yeah, it's Kentucky Red River Gorge. It goes through. I
I've
believe
won.
that's right.
Sorry.
It's about 300 miles. So
Yeah, I've wanted to. And this year I was planning on doing another trail system after the NCT, but we just needed to get back to life. Like there was so much stuff that we were having to juggle at that point that I feel comfortable in the swamp.
it's true. Mike's been making YouTube videos for many years, and you'll see him walking through water all the time down in there.
Huh.
And he loves his snakes and gators he likes. I'd love to go down there and visit him someday.
Yeah, that
And
makes one
he
of
he
us.
would be my guide.
Yeah, I like the swamp. I don't know if I necessarily feel comfortable in the swamp.
Right.
Yeah.
I
But yeah,
need a guide.
yeah, Mike, if you're hiking in the swamp with gators, I would want to be hearing everything as well.
Right. Hmm. Oh, Brian's back in the States. And
Oh,
are
very
you
cool.
from Michigan, Brian? If I remember correct, I think you're from Michigan. I talked to a lot of people on
Yeah.
on YouTube and the Facebook and all that, so I forget where everybody's from.
Yeah, you seem to know all these people that keep putting the comments up. I'm like, oh, cool, sweet.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
when you guys end up starting the show?
What's that? I'm sorry.
When do you guys start this show?
You're my second guest. I just had one Monday.
Oh, who's the guest prior?
Brian Kelly or John Kelly. Sorry, wrong name. I guess so many different names. But
Oh,
he has a podcast show.
yes, he's the guy from
That
Backpacking Podcast.
yes.
Yeah, I remember. I actually I've listened to a few of his things.
Oh, they're excellent. Him and
Yeah,
Jeremiah.
yeah, they're funny guys. They have a good banter
Oh
back and
yes.
forth.
I know so many different people with name last name Kelly, so I got to sit there and think for a second. There's a lot of Kellys in this area where I live.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we may have another question here. Oh, no, he's planning an AT through in 2022. He has two questions. Favorite luxury item? Any tips for overcoming mental exhaustion?
Luxury. Um, I guess it's luxurious if you carry extra battery packs, or just carry a heavier battery pack. The AT, I don't know if you have to worry about it as much because you have so many road crossings that go into towns. Um, I don't know. My favorite luxury item, honestly, I don't really carry a luxury item. My luxury item might be my balcava, just when it gets cold. Um, honestly, I don't know how to answer that. I don't think I carry a luxury item. Any tips for overcoming the mental exhaustion? Yeah, find a good crew. You're going to be on the AT. Find a good crew to hike with. Because you guys will push each other, and then you also support each other when that exhaustion comes. If you can laugh, you can really get through a lot of stuff.
Man, Brian King here. He's from Rogers City, Michigan.
Huh.
I'm familiar with the area, so not too far from me.
Okay.
It's in
You
lower
bird.
Michigan, but you
You
fellow
birds.
here. Yeah. Yeah, I think if you see my background here, I have a sign that says Uper on it.
Yes, I do. Uper, I love it.
Got a boost on there. I made that little uh, setting behind, put
We
some
didn't.
lights on it.
How frequent do you guys get to see moose up there? We didn't get to see any moose when we were up there.
I'm 50 years old, and I've never seen a moose in a UP yet.
Huh.
Never saw one. I've
They
seen them
must
in
be.
Wyoming, and I've seen them in Minnesota, but never in the UP. Now, if you go up towards Marquette area,
Yeah.
in that general area, you'll see moose up there, but not where I live. I live like halfway between Iron Mountain and Escanaba, and
Iron Mountain.
that's more the southern part of the UP.
Okay, so it wouldn't have been somewhere the NCT would have gotten close by to.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Let's catch some more. Will Magpie be joining you on the next hike?
Yes. I mean, we're living together, so
Right.
if we plan hikes, we're planning them together. There's a few
That's good.
trails that I know she won't want to do just purely because she's smarter than me. But I think for next year we're both super stoked about. It's kind of going to be our grab bag year. We're going to fit a lot of 500-mile trail systems in together, and then hopefully do the Te Aurora. So yes, yeah, of course.
Oh, this one,
Never
he's
seen a
from
moose.
Marquette.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never seen a moose either. Okay.
They're kind of shy creatures. Go to Colorado. If you hike in Colorado, you'll be growled at
Yes.
by moose.
Yeah, we had in Wyoming. Let me see if I have a picture. This is up by Cloud Peak, in a Cloud Peak Wilderness. I'll have to try to see if I find my pictures now. I loved it in that up there.
Yeah.
One of my favorite areas.
Wyoming, a lot of people kind of just.
Here's a
Myself
picture.
included. Ooh.
There's my wife.
That is
There's a
beautiful
moose down there. You can
Yeah.
see.
Oh yeah, look at him.
It was right next to us. Yeah, there's a bull moose. We had 3 of them that stayed around the campsite the entire time.
Were they aggressive at all?
No, not at all.
Huh.
I mean, they came within, I'd say, within 100 feet of us, and just kept eating the vegetation around there. Never
Wow.
bothered us.
Because some
We-
moose. Sorry.
It's a certain time of year where they're worse too. We went in August,
Yeah.
and they're just more worried about eating food, getting ready for the winter. That's from what I understand, anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I'm more worried about moose. Granted, I'm not really worried about wildlife. Respectful, but not really worried in the sense of they're out to get you. But like, I'm
Right.
more worried about moose than bears for the most part, because bears are really only going to come at you if they have a specific reason. Moose, if you pop up on it and it's scared and it runs at you, it's a powerful creature.
Right. Okay, Harry has a question. About Brendan Marquette several times. Oh, me neither. That's something. I think it must be maybe a little west of Marquette where they have more moose.
Yeah, I can see that. Getting into the Wisconsin, enjoying the conversation. Oh,
Oh, we
sweet.
have Sleeves enjoying the conversation. Sleeves, he hiked to AT a couple of years ago, I believe. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think he did.
Oh, sweet. I like the trail name. If that's the trail name, Sleeves is a good one.
Yes, I like that one.
Yeah, moose. I think you'd probably get a little west because you're kind of centrally located in the UP right there, so a little more westbound. We didn't get to see any in Minnesota either, though. Yeah, I guess they're shy creatures sometimes.
Right.
Michigami. Is that
Michigami Republic area? Yes, that's west of Marquette. You're
Okay.
looking at maybe 50, 60 miles, 30 to 60 mile range.
Okay.
You'd see more moose. That's actually, I think, if I remember correct, moose were brought into the UP. Some of them, if not most of them,
Oh.
in the 1980s. When I remember that when I was young.
I do really want to get out to Isle Royale one day.
Yeah, I haven't been there yet either.
Yeah, I've heard some amazing things.
Right, I have to do it.
I mean, the wolves. There was one person, I forget who was telling us this story. Any suggestions? I don't know them. So, You kind of base the trail names off of the personality. So,
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah,
You might know better.
My YouTube channel is Up Trail 71. And up, it's our UP, Upper Peninsula Trail hiking. 71 was my birth year. Actually, I threw that in because somebody already had a YouTube channel called Up Trail at the time.
I
So I had
think
I had 71 to it.
I swear some people just register names just to have the name. Like I
Right.
found the same thing sometimes. Like I go to register a name, I'm like, who else has this? Like why?
Right. Okay, we got sleeves down here. Okay, yes. He
Yeah.
completed the AT a couple of years ago. Saw several moose in New Hampshire and Maine.
Yes. Yeah. So funny enough, in the AT, the only moose I was able to see was actually at close to Able Bridge area, and it was from somebody that had hunted a moose and was pulling them in for meat at that point. So it was not even a live moose. I seen a lot of tracks, a lot of signs of moose, but never saw a live one up there.
Oh, I have another one here. Brenda, have
Oh,
Constantine and Magpie. Oh, American Discovery Trail. American Discovery Trail. Which one is that now?
it's long. It's
Or is
I
that
think
the one that makes goes all around America, U.S. or
yeah. So it connects the eastern seaboard to the western seaboard.
okay?
What's the mileage? I think the mileage is like 6,000 miles or
Oh
something.
gosh.
Magpie, are we doing the ADT? The American Discovery Trail? I heard a hell no.
Can
um,
would she come in and wave to the camera? Can you get her to do
Magpie, do you
that?
want to come and wave to the camera?
All right. I mean, I just got out of the shower, but sure.
I think she's being a pyro with the fire.
Okay. There she is.
Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Hi.
American Discovery, honestly, not in the foreseeable future. Maybe one
Uh-huh.
year. But next year, we really just want to play with the grab bag gear and the Teorora LP trail.
LP Trail 6. There you go. Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh,
Lower
yes.
Peninsula. You know, lower Peninsula and the Upper Peninsula.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name was made up a long time ago when everybody used to make comes people of color channels, anything, TR, anything with numbers in it and stuff.
My original channel's name was like Wolf Raid, then it was like my hockey number, and then my high
Right.
school goals. Like it was just all this
Thrown together.
mishmash stuff together.
Yeah, I know. I thought about changing it, and then people were like, no, don't change it. They're used to my name. Hey,
Guys ever watch Discovering with Buck?
Buck Lavasser. That's a UP. No, the guy that does it now is Brian, and he lives about 300 feet from me.
That's
He's
the
one that does
show
the shows. Yes,
yeah, that's the show
Discovery.
we were talking about.
Yeah, I'll have to get him on here someday. Brian Whitens, yeah.
I've noticed a lot of people in Michigan. Is it part of the culture up there? I mean, I'm curious. Like a lot of people in Michigan, I've seen just high prevalence of people that create like backpacking content, hiking content. I guess it's just the culture. You guys spend so much time in the woods that you're like, hey,
I
why not?
guess.
Yeah.
I know when I first started making YouTube videos, I think I was the only one in Michigan that made them. Or maybe it
Wow.
could have been one or other somewhere, but
Yeah.
in Pictured Rocks, nobody had videos. But my camera, my old channel, and that it was terrible videos, so I took them all down years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're getting more and more people that are making videos, and they love that hunting is big up here.
Yeah. It might just be because I guess what I'm noticing is just a lot of people love the outdoors in Michigan. So a lot of the time you see people filming that content. I looked for
Beaver Lake area.
I don't know where that is.
Bear Moose. That must be Pictured Rocks, I think. Because I think there's a Beaver Lake up there. Yeah.
If you guys want to really know and hear about, again, I'm trying not to cuss on the podcast, but if you want to really know about a BA hiker, one of our buddies, she's actually going through the Pictured Rocks section probably as we speak right now, like December 9th, going through all that snowpack and everything.
Yeah.
Hiking trail. I don't envy it. I do not envy it.
I've done it already. Just small areas in January where the high be about 20 degrees and wind blowing, snow. It's fun in my hammock.
It's fun.
I had a wolf. I enjoyed it, but it's more fun if you have people with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I had a wolf come within 100 feet of my hammock.
Really?
Yes, it didn't bother me. It just walked straight through.
Did it look at you? Did it kind of sniff you? Did it?
It knew I was there.
Yeah.
It just minding its own business, you know.
Yeah.
Then a Superior hiking trail, one of those campsites I stayed at, can't remember the name. but I'm in the middle of the night. I could hear a pack of coyotes right in my campsite. I took my headlamp, I had the Night Core or the NU-25,
Okay.
and I shined it, and I could see about 6 coyotes running around.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I don't want them around. But within 5 minutes, they were off in the distance. In the morning, I could see parts of a rabbit torn apart.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
what they were after.
Coyotes, I'm way more cool with being in camp than a wolf. A wolf, you don't really know what's going through his mind. Coyotes,
Right,
they're too small to really mess with a human. Even in a group, they really don't want to mess with you. A wolf, you
right.
kind of
The
just
wolves are a different story.
Yeah.
Or a mountain lion if you ever ran
They're not-
across that.
yeah, they're not a big puppy. Even though you want to pet them, don't pet a wolf.
Hello, Fred. We have Fred here.
Buck is no longer.
Yeah, he talked about Discovery Channel. Buck Levasseur passed away a couple of years ago. Or
No, I'm sorry.
he was the original one from the channel,
No.
or TV show, I should call it.
Oh, yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Idaho Centennial Trail? 1,300 miles. That's a lot.
Yeah, you hit a good one. The Idaho
Yeah.
Centennial is kind of a hidden gem. That's a really good
Mm.
trail. We briefly touched it when we did the Pacific Northwest Trail, and Idaho. We've been told by we've been sworn to secrecy by locals. Idaho is like the secret state. It has some beautiful things. I was joking about the secrecy. Idaho is a beautiful state. You should definitely go check that out.
I'll have to definitely check it out too someday.
It's rugged. It's very rugged. From what we did, Ohio has a lot of YouTube.
Yeah, and that's true. I think Ohio has the most YouTubers of anywhere.
Does it?
Yeah, all kinds of backpacking YouTube guys in Ohio. We had an Ohio meetup once, and it was a lot of fun. Fred, he's a guy I met up at one of the meetups.
Oh, cool. Better a rabbit than your pet, yeah.
Yes. All right, I think we've been on for close to an hour now. So if there's anything last minute things you'd like to discuss, or any of your, how about that when you did PCT, when Jason from Outdoor Adventures does that, would you have any suggestions for him? Any tips that if you were done different, say,
yeah.
If you were gonna do it again, I'm sure it's something you would have done different.
Yeah. Don't take as long in the desert section as you want to. The desert's beautiful, but your time window is way shorter on the PCT than the AT. And I think he was moving quickly on the AT, so I don't know if he is going to be worried about that.
Probably not.
But the PCT, a lot of people get caught up in the desert simply because it's hot. It's not necessarily stimulating. So like they take slower days or they take more rest days.
Harder to find water?
Yeah. It's not terrible though.
No.
Your water carry is going to be anywhere from 10 to 20 miles, which is not bad.
No, that's not bad.
Yeah. There's one section that you have a 35er, but everybody talks about it, so you'll know when it's coming.
He'll know. Yeah, he'll be prepared for it.
Yeah, just be cognizant of the weather windows. Get through the Sierras sooner than you would want to, because Washington is going to be brutal near the end of the season if he's going northbound.
I would think he would. I'm not sure. I'll have to ask him when he comes on the show here. But
yeah, if he successfully hiked the AT, the transition, he'll pick it up like that and just cruise through.
The Ice Age Trail. Have you ever heard of the Ice Age Trail in Wisconsin?
I did it in 2019.
Oh, you did? Yeah. Oh, yes, I did see some videos on that.
Yes. So yeah, it's a nice trail. It's really, it has a lot of support. The association around it, their trail segments are almost always immaculate. I don't know the percentage, maybe 30% road, 70% trail, maybe more road in there somewhere. But their trail sections are pretty immaculate. They put a lot of work into their trail.
Right. I've seen videos on how, and it's actually a fairly long distance too, right?
Yes. So it's about 1,200 miles. I think
Right.
I clocked it right at like 1180 somewhere in there. I don't know if it's grown or changed actually since the year I've done it, but I'm assuming trying to get off-road connectors, it's going to fluctuate again.
Right. All the trails will fluctuate some.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to just about be all for the show. You have anything that you'd like to add? Or
no, the chat was fun. There's so much stuff to talk about trails.
I know.
It would be impossible for me to pick one. Hiking's fun. The guy that said hiking sucks, hiking's fun.
You're just joking.
Yeah, I know.
But I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yes, it's so much fun talking to somebody that's done a lot of through hikes like this. Like I said, I couldn't imagine doing this North Country Trail.
It's a lot to chew off. It's a lot
Oh
to
yeah.
chew off, but love Magpies.
Oh.
What was Magpie's answer? Oh, hell no. Yeah.
Great time tonight. Yes, we really enjoyed having you on this stream.
Oh,
That's for
thank you
sure.
guys. Yeah, it was fun.
And
Yeah,
now
NCT.
I'll have the replay on my channel, so you'll be able to watch it.
Cool.
It should be up within a few minutes after we are off from the stream.
Cool. Yeah.
So I want to thank you for coming on the show and all of the guests here, everybody in the comments. It's fun reading the comments.
It is. Sorry if I got distracted a lot. I would like read something and then I would just start cracking up. I'm like, oh, okay, that was funny.
Right, just hang on for a couple of minutes. I'm going to end the broadcast right here. So again, I want to thank everyone, and we'll see you at the next show.